Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 9 in IRL, Brazil today. And alongside me this time, not the other way around, is Jared Fosbury. How are you, mate?
I'm good.
Ready for some F1 action?
Yeah. It's going to be fun. I think it's going to be very close between the midfield. Obviously not for the win, of course, as usual. But yeah, midfield it's going to be some spicy action.
Well, as you can see, guys, today it's me being the leading commentator, as Jared was such a nice person to give me the role for today. So I'm gonna take you through mainly through the whole event, and Jared will be helping me with the comms today. So at the moment we have on track two Alfa Romeos. We have Matthew Older, and behind his teammate Luis Curtis, which will be the first to start a lap. And Matthew Older, which if he wins, well, I think by just scoring points, he is basically the winner of the championship. So he doesn't need to do nothing extraordinary to actually win the championship today, as he starts his flying lap right now on turn 3, having a pretty decent exit, sticking to the inside curve. And let's see, approaching the end of the from the first sector, locking up a little bit. At the moment, not a great lap from the reigning champion, but could be improved. Turn 5, if I'm not mistaken. Really good traction there as he locks up a little bit, approaching that corner, trying to not lose the car, trying to keep it steady as he hits the outside curb, that corner, and again locks up. But really good exit, upshift to 4. And the end of the second sector, as he goes over the grass, doesn't lose the control of the car, and pretty decent second sector, although my bad because I didn't have the lap data enabled. And let's see what time he does. 1:06.4, which is not a bad time at all.
No, I didn't. I've seen him do quicker times, and practically did his 5.8. So, you know, he has got a lot to improve there. There's one body of his team right now, but he's about to shake like it.
Yeah, give me a second. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, mid-6. Yeah, not a bad time at all. To be honest, not far from his teammate. Let's see if today he can actually be able to beat his teammate. He hasn't been able during the whole season, but who knows? Brazil always brings special races, as Fletty crosses the line just ahead of Luis. And at the moment, everyone is pretty... well, everyone. The 3 drivers who have set the lap are quite close.
Yeah, they are quite close actually. It's closer than I thought it would have been already for top 3. But we know Matthew, he's been like this before, where everyone's like within a tenth of him, and then he just pulls smart bag and like finds 6 tenths. So, you know, I'm not expecting Matthew to be this close to everybody. I think he's going to be having a big gap for pole position, but we'll have to wait and see, as the old man is on a lap right now in P9 currently. He will be still on a lap next lap. Patrick will go on.
Yeah, let's go with Sondre Sorhaug. Still some corners to go until he starts his lap, but we don't have like better action than this, so we're gonna stick with the Renault at the moment. Sondre Sorhaug has had a complicated first half of the season. He was not being able to deliver, you know, making mistakes, not finishing races, having a lot of penalties, but it seems like he has picked up that pace, that consistency, and at the moment he's not having bad races. I mean, he's scoring points. He could do better probably, but let's see how he does today. He started his lap approaching the first corner, looking up, as we can see. Oh, and he lost the back ender, so that lap will probably not be useful, but it seems like he's going on with it as he touches the outside curb, and he's still using ERS, which means he's still on a lap, as we have 3 drivers currently on an out lap, so we'll keep an eye whenever they start their laps, as Cameron Young is about to cross the finish line. But we're gonna stick with Sondre at the moment just to see what he's able to deliver in this second part of the lap. Oh, and yeah, that setup doesn't look stable at all.
No, it doesn't. Just look from the standings here, Paco. I think Matthew, we haven't even clocked this. I think Matthew's already won the championship.
I mean, I did some calculations before Brandon posted the standings, and the only thing I could get clear was that he just needed, like, for anyone else to win it, basically he should like DNF all the races and Luis should win all the races, which was pretty impossible to happen. So it could be wrapped up now.
Well, he has a 100.
What's the gap to second? Just calculate that.
Yeah, that's what I did. No, I'm really calculating. That's 2 the 116 point gap. It says 116, and I believe the maximum points you can get is 4.
No,
like for the rest of the
no, wait. 25 times 4, 100. Because there are 4 rounds remaining,
oh, yeah,
so that's 100.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you have the pole points, which are 8 points.
2. Yep.
108.
Plus a slap at 4. So
112.
Yeah, so he's
yeah, so Matthew's already champion. Yeah, congratulations, Matthew Older.
Yep. 4-time champion. Wow, we didn't even clock this. Neither did Bran. An absolute egg.
Yeah, so I mean, we really need, someone who can drive against Matthew. I mean, who knows what the new game will bring? We might have, oh, and Matthew Older spins around at the exit of the, well, not the last corner, but just after the start of the third sector. So that's not going to be a fastest lap for him. Oh, and his teammate does the same, but a few corners earlier. Oh my god, the Alfa Romeos just having some trouble. As, oh my god, what Luis did there was a bit dangerous, but luckily enough for him, Brandon Villegas was not on a lap. Which, talking about Brandon, he's back. He was absent for many races, I have to say, but he's back, and he's not one of the fastest, but he's sometimes able to deliver, and finish in the points, as Nino sets the 3rd fastest time. So talking about Brandon Villegas, of course, do you think, Jared, that he could deliver some good result today?
Oh yeah, there's no question about it, especially with the turn out 12, there's always a chance of points. And you and me have raced with him before. He's got the pace, and he's got consistency. He just needs to nail it, volley as well. But he doesn't have to be the quickest to get points, as we all know. But right now he's actually done a good first sector. He had a bit of a lock up through turn 1, as I believe that is Nino Romnelli just ahead of him, a bit deep into that corner. Yeah. Nino is moving out the way, which is respectful driving from Ferrari now, as we're going to Brandon then, as he comes into the hairpin where Hamilton and Albon came to blows. My favourite corner where Hamilton won his first title, passing Timo. And, a bit of an unlock. That rear does look a bit slidey when he locks up there, so maybe the brake bias is not correct. But let's see what he can do then as he activates the RS, down the straight he goes, and let's see what time he will do. 8 minutes 36
107.
7.2, and that's only 5th, so he's probably done that as a test, bank a lap, and going to get ready for the next run in the next couple of minutes. Oh no, scratch that! He's in the wall, and he is out. He has lost the right side of his car. Both tyres have gone, and that is his qualifying session ended.
How did that happen?
He just took too much on the throttle. I was about to go off him, but then he ignited the throttle too much, and he just touched the curb and went straight into the wall, and that clip is getting saved for the IRL F1 highlights.
That's weird because, when you're on your in-lap, which technically he was, I don't know why he would try to push that hard, but, well, he's in the wall, so that's qualifying over for him with 8 minutes remaining, and I have to say, pretty low. I don't know if the people behind are trying to start on mediums or something, because I wouldn't be surprised, with just 12 drivers. But quite surprising, nobody else have done a lap. I mean, 3 of them invalidated, which were Kevin Harrison, Cameron Young, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Rocco was the other one. No, Nino, but then he set a lap, so So we'll have to wait to see. Cameron Young, however, going through the last couple of corners. So if you want, Jared, I'll let you
Cameron Young, yeah.
guide us through the lap.
Okay then, well, it's Cameron then. As he's coming down the straight as Lee Kelly's joined, so we do have another driver then, that's 13.
And
so Cameron then.
And Luis Bassman could join, sorry.
Yep, that's right. And coming then in a bit of a lock up there through turn 1, get nice tidy entry though through turn 2 and 3, rides the curb there to get the shortest route possible. Into 8th gear now, down the straight he goes, let's see what his first sector time will be, and it's 16.5, not purple, but it isn't his PBE there, as usually it would go green. Although Cameron is pushing, as he comes through the fast right-hander, where you can make an overtake if you've got nerves of steel, as he's coming through the maximum downforce area now, where you need a lot of downforce to have a good run. Nice and tidy there from Cameron. Into the hairpin he goes, as he has an Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Hopefully that Alfa doesn't slow down too much. Through the fast left now. Keeps it under control. Runs it wide there and invalidates, and that's a lock up. I think he was trying to get a good line there, and it just a bit unlucky. And yeah, he will have to go on the pits to get a fresh set of softs and go for it all over again.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Renault driver. As we can see, Lee Kelly finally taking control of his car, so he's in the Red Bull, remember. And Alfie leaves the session. I don't know if he was missing a setup or it's just that he lagged out. Brandon as well. Okay, I was scared because seeing too many people.
I thought we lagged out.
Yeah. But anyways, hopefully they'll be able to come back. Maybe they're gonna get a setup or something. Not sure. As we can see right now, Matthew Older through the final corner. What he will do? What will he do?
It's 3.
Yeah, pretty solid time. I think he could get it to 106 flat. Even if he sweats enough, 105.9. And another one.
Are we having do we have an issue or something?
Could you check the Discord?
Just let us know. Yeah, I will check the Discord. Nino Ramirez is right on the lap right now.
Oh, and he's getting slipstream from... Oh, and Luis gets pole as Brandon Glover joins bike, and Nino getting slipstream from Cameron Young. Hopefully that will be enough to get ahead. And
4. 10th improvement now.
Yeah, 1/10 behind Matthew, 1/10 and something else behind Luis, which is quite close. It's similar to the qualifying we had today, as they were quite close.
On board with Lee Kelly right now then, who's going to do his first run as he joined mid-quali. I was going to go on board him then as he's beginning his lap, as he has no hands on the wheel, which is a bit of a danger to the track. He's using his mind, as the Force would say, for Star Wars.
He's driving with his third leg,
He's driving with the Force, as people would say. As Lee Kelly down the straight he goes. There's a 16.5, apparently purple in sector 1. That can be misleading though. Have that. Nice and tidy there. It's through, I'd say, turn 5, and now we're going into turn 6. It's through the fast right. Nice, had to get a nice tight line, gets a good exit there. Don't want to carry too much speed because you will go deep into this corner, which you need to not go too much deep, because if you do, you will lose a lot of time. However, Lee's for his first run looks like tidy. Oh, a bit on the grass there. That's going to cost him a bit of time in the Red Bull. As he's now going through the fast left-hander, he needs to get a good run. Car keeps it under control now through the final corner, I would call it. But let's see what he can do then, as he's now going down the straight. Will he do a 1:06?
No, he's not in ERS. Yeah, he deactivated his ERS. I mean, quite weird that with 3 minutes remaining, we only have 5 drivers that have set a lap. So to be honest, not sure. I think some people are gonna try and start on mediums.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but when did Lewis take pole?
When did
Lewis take pole?
Some seconds ago. I mean, seconds, no, minutes ago.
I must have missed it. I thought Matthew actually improved.
I mean, I told you that it was quite close. It was similar to today's qualifying, where Hamilton took pole with Verstappen second, and there were thousands of seconds, as I saw in the scoreboard, well, in the leaderboard, between them. And then it was Bottas in third, 1/10 behind. So Nino on a similar spot, a spot us. So let's see who will be the alpha in the Alfa Romeo,
Well, then.
Because they are quite close.
If you want to go on board him, he's on the mediums. So
yeah, I think people are just gonna settle up on the mediums. Rocco is on the mediums. Kevin is in the soft. So hold on. Lee Kelly is on the mediums. Interesting. Actually, I'm gonna put the tires there, so we have an idea. And most of the people are staying in the pits. Well, some people going out now in the final minutes, as we have Sondre saving IRL, so he's not interested in setting a fast lap. He's just interested in gaining positions. So Alfie and Lickle won't do a lap in this session. They'll stay in the pits, so they'll probably be overtaken by everyone who does a lap. And let's see, is anyone on a serious lap though? No, Lee Kelly is about to start one. Rocco, however, it seems like he's trying to push. So let's see what he sets, as Kevin is just ahead. So let's go with the Racing Point driver, then we'll switch to the Williams, and by the end we'll switch to the Alfa Romeo guys. So right now, Kevin Harrison, that sounded Russian, but never mind. Going through the final corner as Fleddy leaves the session. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin just before the race. The Racing Point going through the final couple of corners. Let's see what he says. I don't think it's going to be a good lap. I think it's going to be a 107. Oh, just 107.6. And Rocco just behind, getting slipstream from Brandon Glover, as Brandon Glover could be starting his lap, not sure though. And he goes just ahead of Kevin Harrison. Let's see the Alfa Romeos. Is Matthew going to be the first one to cross the finish line? 16 flat, and I think Luis Curtis is not going to be able, but he's still going to try pushing that Alfa Romeo to the limits. Let's see what he says, going up to 8. Just the final straight. Let's see, final meters. He crossed the finish line, and it's not gonna be enough, as he doesn't improve and he stays second. But hold on, because Nino is here. However, he improved 1/10 in the second sector, but I don't think he's gonna improve in the third sector, as he just improved marginally, and all that because he didn't have the slipstream he did in his fastest lap. So, oh, and Sondre spins, so that's qualifying over officially for him.
Classic ball hog.
Yep. And I think we have Brandon, who is just like interested in setting a lap. By the way, did anyone do the tweet for the stream?
Yeah, someone did the tweet. As Rocco there is getting a bit close to Brandon.
Side by side. Oh,
I don't know if they're looking at that, but it was a bit close there. Brandon goes in the 10th, going 18-4. What a lap from Brandon. You got to give it him. What a lap.
Yeah.
The man lowered
Insane.
himself into 10th.
There was someone who commented on the stream, so I'm gonna take a look if I can to see what they said.
It's Dartball. Hey, Dartball, we all know he'd slap you in a heartbeat. So most of the grid would actually, to be fair.
Not able to see who type.
Put live chat.
Yeah, it doesn't show. So quite weird.
I'm just gonna say it says Blizzard, you're something, mate. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Basically saying he's bad.
Okay, Jordan is here. That's fact. So we have 4 people, and one of them is Jordan. Interesting. However, end of qualifying session. Matthew on top. What a surprise. Just behind, 2 tenths behind, Luis Curtis, which apparently seemed like he could have taken pole, but he didn't. In 3rd place, I have to say. Great merit from Nino. And in 4th, Fleddy, who hopefully will join back. Lical in 5th, Brandon Villegas in 6th, Rocco in 7th, Kevin Harrison in 8th, Sondre in 9th, and Brandon Glover last to do a time in 10th. Edward, Alfie, and Cameron Young outside the top 10, but they didn't even settle up. So, They'll have free tire choice, although some people in the top 10 will start on mediums. I think those were Sondre, Rocco, Lee Kelly, and Brandon. So interesting. And Trap Formula said he could have hopped on now,
Yeah, but it's too
but
late.
it's too late. So
There won't be a
unfortunately for
restart.
him, hopefully next week you'll be able to race. If Luis Fassman had been able to make it and Trap Formula like as well, we would have had 15 drivers. That in the end, no, or 14, no, 15 actually. So it wouldn't have been a bad turnout. However, as I said last week, numbers are not relevant when there's a good show on track. It's true that probably the win is already decided, unless Matthew
Around the
decides
championship, but
to
yeah.
Spinella. But I think we're gonna have an interesting fight for the podium. I mean, there's always a good fight, and
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna be any different today.
Nope, I don't think there is, but we'll just have to wait and see as we've got a 6-second countdown for the race start. Weather looks good.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we didn't comment on the weather, but yeah, it's gonna be dry. It seems the whole race. So let's see. As the game tells us, one stops off to hards, which is alive because you can go on mediums. And then we have double pit stop, which would be soft mediums. So quite interesting strategy that the games tell us. However, let's see what everyone has decided to start on. Well, the top 10 we already know. And yeah, outside the top 10, Edward, Alfie, and Cameron, they all start on mediums, so no surprise there. This is gonna be interesting because actually Lee Kelly generally has a good pace, so with the mediums he might be able to do the overcut on some drivers ahead. So let's see how it works out. And just before they get to the grid, Jared, I want to ask you about your prediction. Who do you think will be the winner, and who will finish second, third, and fourth?
Well, I think Sondre's going to take the win, of course. You know, it's Matthew just going to be bad. But no, jokes. Matthew, dominant win. I think Lewis will take second, get a 1-2 for Alfa Romeo, and then third and fourth. I'm going to go with Lee third, and I'm going to go with Sondre fourth. I think he can, with the strategy he's on, I think he can pull some out of the bag. I'll give him a bit of credit last week. France was a good track, but now you've got to give him a bit of luck for the odd on himself. So I think Bottle, fourth place.
Interesting. My prediction probably will be Matthew in first, and this is going to be surprising for you, but I'm going to put Nino in second, Lee Kelly in third, and I'm going to put Luis in fourth. I don't know why, but I just have an instinct, like a feeling. So I'm gonna trust it, and I'm gonna go with that prediction. Anyways, the drivers getting into their respective position in the grid. So this is about to start, 36 laps ahead, and when the red light starts turning on, this will go underway. So the engines are on. We can see, as we have 5 people watching, I cannot see the red light. Never mind, I can. And away we go. We can see Matthew trying to defend the lead, but the Alfa Romeo actually start quite well. But Nino around the outside tried to have the position on Luis Curtis, but he defends quite well and he holds on that second place. As behind we can see an AlphaTauri, no, actually a Racing Point. I think it was trying an overtake, or it was an AlphaTauri. Never mind.
It was Edward actually making a move on both drivers and almost came above Sondre there. A bit of contact, but Sondre comes back at him and moves into 8th.
Yeah, and we can see right now the Ferrari from Nino trying to put the pressure on Luis Curtis. Luis Curtis, which doesn't seem to have the pace on these first corners, and Nino all over the Alfa Romeo. Meanwhile, behind we have Lee Kelly, who keeps 5th, and Brandon Villegas trying to put the pressure on him as he has the soft tire on, and he should be quicker as he almost hits the back end from the Red Bull. And at the moment, there's not that much action in these corners, but let's see, because now we go through the main straight as Matthew keeps on the lead, but watch out because Nino is really close to Luis, and if he has a good straight line speed, he could go for the overtake. Meanwhile, behind, Brandon Villegas could be on a move.
Oh, wait, hang on, Edwards on a move on Sandra Soha. I'm sorry to cut you off.
And Brandon Villegas does the overtake on Lee Kelly. Sorry for that, Jared, but they bank wheels, and it seems like Sondre holds on Legal. Legal tries to have the inside as they go side by side, as you said, and Sondre is going to lose not only one but two positions. And as Kevin Harrison took advantage of that fight and got ahead, and meanwhile ahead, the has from Brandon Villegas trying the overtake, but look at that, the Irishman in the Red Bull doesn't give up, and he's still down the inside, but he's going to lift off. Quite a smart move by Lee Kelly, and that's Brandon Villegas in 5th. Let's see if he can gain back the gap to the guys ahead and be in the DRS range, because if not, it's going to be a difficult race for him.
Oh yeah, obviously, you know, Brandon needs to pick up the pace on those softs, catch up with the guys ahead. But when we actually saw the overtake, it looked like Leon said, "Oh, Brandon's out! Oh, Brandon's out! He's into the wall, and he's lost the right front tyre, and he is out of the race." And that's it. Race over.
And Virtual. Will anyone pit? Nino pits. Oh, Nino cut the entry. I believe. Not sure though. Not sure.
But we'll have a VAR check on this.
I mean, if he cut it, Fletty will report it for sure. So Nino is going for the medium tire. Not sure why he.
I don't know. I think he was just on the line. I think he might have got away with it, to be honest. And Nino's end looked dodgy, but I don't know.
But
let's see.
But not sure why he would go to the medium tire when there's still 36 laps remaining. I mean, it's true.
Pit stop, won't it? It'll be a free pit stop, so you'll be doing a two-stop, medium.
A two-stop, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be an interesting call, definitely, by Nino Romanello. Let's see how it works out, and at the moment BSC is still on track. Let's see when we go back to racing, as Brandon Villegas left the session, so on his redebut. Oh, and Lee Kelly gets a drive-through penalty, as well as Rocco Walsh. I think Rocco Walsh got a drive-through penalty as well. I will just check quite quickly. Yep, both of them. So that's unfortunate, as they will have to serve it, and they won't be ahead of Nino, I believe. So let's see. At the moment, Matthew leading after 3 laps. Actually, 4. Yeah, they are serving. Yeah, both
Rocco's
of them.
not.
No, Rocco's not. Yeah, Rocco's staying out. So Matthew's leading. Luis in second, 8/10 behind it's Fletty, and with a 3-second gap it's Rocco Walsh, which is followed by Edward, which honestly is looking quite fast. Despite starting 11th, he's already in 5th and making a good progress.
Yeah, oh hang on, there's a racing point, going
Brandon.
slowly.
Yeah, Brandon overtaking Kevin. I don't know if it was that Kevin let him by or Kevin had a really bad exit, but anyways, the move is done and Brandon is up to 6th. As we can see, some grass, well, a car who make a trip through the grass, but he's back on track. As we can see, a Renault locking up at the moment. Not that many overtakes. And Luis Kurtz is about to get in the DRS range. Not sure if he was able to get inside the DRS range. Let's see if he opens. No. So he still has work to do, although he has reduced the gap massively. So he's now on that DRS range. I don't know if that's teamwork. As we can see, Rocco serving that drive-through. And I could say that right now Lee, Rocco and Nino are on the same race. Like, we can say 100% sure that they are on the same race. So let's see how it plays out. Let's see if Nino is able to make that double stop work. Although I remember Ross saying, you know, the F3 driver, that he was able to make 30 lap on mediums, I believe it was. So could it be that Nino could go till the end on those tires?
I don't think so, because when we sport Ross with that, he was at 90%, and I think he got a bit lucky, to be honest, because I was on the exact same state and I got a puncture at 76, so I remember 76 to 80. So it's luck based when you get to that tyre wear difference, but Nino's going to have to push something. Oh, Alfie then.
Yeah, Alfie really close on the racing point. Will he make the move though? He is not close enough as he doesn't have the straight line speed. As we can see Brandon Glover looking up a little bit on that corner, and seems like Kevin is still making those softs work, but he doesn't really have the pace as he lost the position to Brand earlier, and he's close to lose that position as well to Alfie. As we can see, Kevin Harrison getting the first penalty of the race. I mean the first corner cutting or track extending penalty. So quite a big train we have here. Sondre just trying to get into it, although he's just on the edge of getting into the DRS range. He's trying really hard, and Cameron also closing up on this guy. So we could have an interesting battle for fourth on this race, and let's see if the AlphaTauri is now able to try the move on Kevin Harrison.
Well, I know why he's not actually gaining that much. Kevin is using basically all of his ERS. Alfie's using none. So I don't think Alfie wants to go for the overtake yet. He knows the guy ahead's on softs. So he's going to let him just stay in the train, die down. He can save his energy and fuel. And I think this is a good strategy from Alfie, but, you know, I think the Renaults may need to do the switcheroo. I think Cameron needs to be ahead of Sondre to maybe threat Alfie ahead, because it looks like Cameron is the quicker driver and he's just losing a ton of time because of this dirty air.
Yeah, I mean, we know that between Sondre and Cameron is faster, but he has had those issues, you know, with consistency and stuff since he switched off the line.
And
so,
wheel, yeah.
Yeah, and the wheel as well. So I don't know how that's gonna affect his confidence, though. We'll have to wait and see what the Renault team does. However, right now it seems like Alfie could be on a run on making a move on Kevin. He's 4/10. I don't know if he's gonna use his ERS, as we can see, almost to 100%. Well, actually it's around 80. And yeah, Kevin Harrison still using a lot of his ERS, as Jared pointed out earlier on in the race. Well, actually, last lap. We're not gonna overreact. And Luis Curtis quite close to his teammate. Probably they're just working together, because since Luis was able, you know, to get in that DRS range to his teammate, he has been able to pull a 1 second gap. Well, he was 1.2 to Fletty, and he's now 2.2. So he has quite a comfortable gap to the third place. And I don't know if this means we could see a fight between the Alfa Romeo's drivers.
There's a possibility of the fight. It reminds me of Australia, the first round, where we thought Matthew was actually going to get a bit more of a challenge with Lewis this year, but, you know, Lewis is third in the championship. He wants to get second. And, am I missing some action? Is there an overtake possibly from Alfie?
Yeah, Alfie quite close this time. I don't know. Yeah, he's using ERS. I think he's going for the move. As we can see, he's catching up. He's going to do it. I think he's going to try it down the inside. No, he's going to wait probably for the second straight. As we can see the light coming off from the Racing Point car, which means he's short in ERS. But the AlphaTauri is not close enough though, so he'll have to wait another lap behind the Racing Point to maybe try and sneak down the inside. However, lap 9, we're getting closer to the pit window for soft runners. So probably lap 15, lap 16, they'll start pitting. And Nino is catching up to this train, so he would probably jump in first, although he would have to yet do another pit stop. So we have plenty of things to see, plenty of laps ahead. I have to say the race is quite entertaining at the moment. What's your view on this?
Yeah, it's very entertaining, obviously, with this train as well. But as I said earlier on, the Renaults now, with the pit stop when they're getting closer and closer, Sondre now needs to realise Cameron is a lot faster in sector 1 and 2. Sector 3, Sondre may pull out a little bit, but Cameron is the faster car. The Renault team need to make the switch, because if they don't, they're going to lose too many points in time. As you said, Nino is catching the gap, 3.1 seconds. They don't want Nino to catch up and fight them and make them lose off this train. Sondre needs to stop being smart and let his team through.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say, Nino's strategy is an interesting one because, okay, he's now on fresher mediums than everyone else, and he's gonna probably be cutting. But is he gonna go another set of mediums? Will he pit for soft? I mean, he could do soft, medium, soft, which could be interesting. I have to say, Nino's strategy is probably the most interesting one. As we can see, Rocco pulling a move on Lee Kelly, but Lee Kelly, I think he's not giving up as he's quite close. I think actually Lee Kelly has a little bit more ERS than the Williams. So let's see what he does, if he'll stay behind or what. But at the moment, oh, that's a big lockup by the Williams driver. And let's go back to that train as Alfie once again 3/10 behind Kevin. I don't think he had the exit, but still quite close. He's using all his ERS. I think he's starting to get frustrated as he's not able to make the move. But look at that, Kevin struggling with the ERS as the red light comes off again. And they lock up. Let's see if the AlphaTauri can get a really good exit. 3/10 again, it's the gap, but I don't think he's gonna make it.
No, it just looks like Kevin is just a lot stronger in turn 1, 2, and 3, and that's interesting because those softs, they should be dying by now. Sondra picks up a penalty, so now Sondra needs to decide because now he's out of DRS range as well. He's the second, so he's basically out of that train. He needs to be smart, but Alfie is probably getting so frustrated under that helmet with Kevin. You know, Kevin is quicker on the softs, on the straight, but mediums surely a faster overall right now as Alfie just wants to get past.
And Lee Kelly made the overtake again on Rocco Walsh, so it seems like they are fighting quite a lot, and I have to say they shouldn't be doing this as they still have a chance, you know, to make something else in this race despite the drive-through. But let's see what they do. I mean, they'll probably just fight and fight. They'll probably have fun, which is what they race for. So let's see if that fight continues. We'll keep an eye on that. At the moment, Alfie once again, I mean, it's the never-ending story. The AlphaTauri now behind that racing point again, really close, but not close enough though, despite that massive difference in ERS. Yeah, now 3 drivers with 3-second time penalty, and that's what Nino didn't need because he needed to catch up. He couldn't allow himself to make a mistake, and he did. So he has some extra work to do. As we can see, Sondre back on that DRS range. It seems like Sondre is just on the edge, and I mean, probably if Cameron hasn't overtaken Sondre, it's because he's not interested in making the move, because if not, he would have probably asked Sondre already. But as we can see,
Kevin and Alfie really close now. Those softs are dead.
No, but it's always on the last corner when Alfie doesn't get the exit right. But this time it seems that it could be the moment for that AlphaTauri to make the move work, as he's really close, but he's not gonna send it. But meanwhile behind, Brandon as well, pretty close on Edward. So we'll have to also keep an eye on that fight too. As we can see now, Alfie going for ERS. I think he's having it, but he's not gonna push. I think he's losing time, to be honest. He's just waiting and waiting, and when Kevin pits, Kevin is gonna have an advantage. I mean, he's gonna do the undercut. We all know what he's gonna do. So if I was Alfie, I would try to make the move now. But patience, sometimes it's not bad.
I've just got to actually add something, which is a bit different. The weather was a lot brighter earlier on. It is cloudy. Is there a potential chance of rain? Because, no, Nino went on mediums, and usually that is a strat, but the clouds are starting to get dark around here. Is there rain due? Is that why Nino pit and, you know, playing it safe?
To be honest, it could be interesting, but we'll talk about that in a minute. It seems like Alfie is from the outside. He's gonna try and make it stick around the outside as Kevin breaks really late. But let's see if the AlphaTauri has the exit he's closer than ever. And let's see, he opens the ERS, but he's not close enough. He's not using ERS. He's trying to sneak down the inside, but there's no room to try, and Kevin holds on as he gets another 3-second time penalty, and that's 6 already. A really bad race from Kevin there, as he's getting a lot of penalties. And not only that, look at that, Alfie not making the move, and Kevin is already outside the DRS range.
And Nino is almost in attack range right now in that Ferrari.
No, he is already. So Nino, hold on, because I mean, actually, you could be getting back to the point you said about the rain. I think Nino probably made the pit stop because of that, to have fresher mediums than the rest. And apart from that, to be able, you know, in case it rained, to stretch those mediums as long as it was necessary. But right now, the AlphaTauri now going around the outside again. Will he make it before the corner? It seems like it, but Kevin will not give up easily. But he doesn't have any other alternative, does he? And it's now the AlphaTauri up to 6, and let's see if he can catch the guys ahead. And hold on, because I think Kevin from now until he pits is gonna lose a lot of positions. And to be honest, lap 15, people should start pitting now, or around this lap. So, and if they don't pit, I think it's clear why. By the way, I missed the move from Bran on Edward. So Bran is now up to 4th.
He made it on the same time as Alfie past Kevin, but you know, he hadn't actually been able to pull away either. So you know, these two were teammates in the Mercedes. Edward then wheel, his leg. He had an injury on his leg in real life, so he couldn't go on his wheel. But he went to pad, and he was demoted to a reserve. But then, you know, come back as a full driver of the Ferrari. Matthews pit. Matthews got a 5-second penalty for steering. That's what we like to see. But it is a shame for Matthew. He will have to serve that on his next stop. What tyres is he going on? It is the mediums, as we would expect. So the intercept.
And Nino making the overtake on camera already.
Good moves there from Nino. And yeah, Nino is ahead of Matthew. So Nino is currently the net leader.
Yeah, but I mean, not the net leader. He still needs to do a pit stop, but he will be on softs, however. And he's going to be faster than the guys ahead. So we have an interesting fight ahead. As we can see, a three-way battle at the moment for P2. As we can see, Brandon, Edward and Alfie trying to pull along. But I don't know who's going to be ahead. Brandon made the move on Edward some laps ago. Will the Ferrari driver try and challenge him? Probably the smart thing to do would be to just stay behind, you know, and help each other, but doesn't seem like they will. Yep. Oh,
Saunders' rear end was really unstable there through that exit, and Nino is just licking his lips and ready to go for the old man. He's gone on the inside, and he has got an easy overtake there. Cuts a bit of the curve, but he gets it, and he's ahead of Saunders Sohaug.
Yeah, easy move, and he's up to 4th. And let's see where Luis emerges. Yeah, he's gonna be not that far behind Matthew.
I don't know. I think it's around 2.1. Yeah.
No, 2.1.
He's lost time. He's lost a second.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah. However, as long as he doesn't get any penalties and he's able to keep under that 5-second gap, he has the win. So he doesn't need to rush. Although I'm pretty sure if Matthew wants to push, he will push. So. Will be interesting to see how this ends, as Matthew is now facing this train of cars, so he won't have. I mean, Luis has a chance here to try and reduce the gap. So we'll have to wait and see, as the gap is going down quite fast. And Matthew making the move round the outside. Oh my God, what a save! Yeah, I'm making the move round the outside. Beautiful move by the Alfa Romeo driver. Oh my God, I mean, we both saw like he was losing that car, but that save was miraculous.
Yeah, I've got to give it Matthew there. I think he now realised that his win is under threat. He said he wanted to win every other race, probably wanted to win every race this season, but that got stopped. Will it be stopped again as Fleddy sets the new fastest lap, 1:08.8 on medium tyres?
And let's see, Matthew now catching Sondre. Will Sondre try to defend? He defends the yeah, but he cannot do anything against Matthew Older, and that's Matthew Older up to P5. And let's see, because he has pulled a gap of 2.3 to Lewis Curtis, and Lewis Curtis will have to make the moves quite quickly if he doesn't want to lose time. But hold on, because now Nino has caught up to these trains of cars. And we have to be honest, I mean, we expected, you know, these medium runners to be able to do something interesting on the softs later on in the race, but they have a pit stop, a whole entire pit stop deficit to Luis Curtis, Matthew and Fletty. Well, not to Fletty, but to Luis and Matthew, which is insane.
I don't know about the weather now though, Paco. It's really hard to judge. It's cloudy, but I don't know. Maybe rain really late on, or it was just going to be cloud the whole race. What do you think of that now?
I don't really know, Jared. I mean, I don't want to predict anything because I don't want to curse it, you know, or I don't want to bottle the prediction, but it's really like... You cannot call it really, but at the moment we have an interesting fight here, which is going to be quite entertaining, as Luis really close from Sondre, but I don't know if he will be able to make the move. He's looking quite aggressive as he's really close to that back end from the Renault, braking late, and he's losing a lot of time to Matthew, and he's getting frustrated because he knows he's losing the race here. And let's see if he dives this down the inside on Sondre, and actually Cameron overtook Sondre, so that's why maybe Luis lost a lot of time as the Renault were fighting and he didn't have any alternative, but they hold it side by side through this corner just as Matthew did a lap earlier.
Oh no!
Oh.
Sondre's round. Oh, that is a shame there for the old man.
Oh, and now Matthew is going to make the move on the Ferrari, but let's see, because this is not going to be easy. It's now the Ferrari trying to get slipstream from Alfie. Will Nino try and dive it? Yes, he does, but hold on, because he could hit the AlphaTauri. Nino tries to defend really hard on the reigning champion and the champion from this season as well. So let's see, he has now DRS, big slipstream. Let's see if he's going to try and dive it down the inside. Will he do a Lordy on Mias? And no, he stays behind. So that's another position gained by Matthew, and Matthew taking it seriously, as we can see a beautiful... I mean, I just hope this was like an actual fight for the lead, like 5 cars. Oh my god, what a dive by Matthew Older, but is the AlphaTauri holding on? Yes, he does, and trying to make it his way around the outside, and he does it. So beautiful move by the Alfa Romeo, who is not making prisoners here. Yeah, Nino looking tasty on the AlphaTauri, but oh my god, I mean, Matthew Older, you know, when he needs to push and make the moves, he just does it. Insane work by the Alfa Romeo driver, as we can see people pitting now. So everyone into the pits except, well, actually not everyone, just Edward and Brandon Glover. So at the moment a 3-car train. Let's see if Alfie can make the move or something. No, I don't. I mean, it would be stupid actually to make the move, so he's not gonna make it. But meanwhile, behind, Luis trying to look. Oh my god! And he made contact with Cameron, and I don't know if he got damaged from that, because that contact.
Yeah, that's right end plate. Right end plate's missing from Luis. And so he bought another win.
I mean, if it's the good thing is that most of the corners here are right-handed corners, so it shouldn't be a problem, this endplate, but I think the win is already over. It's not gonna be enough, so Luis again bottling a win, not doing what he's supposed to do. And the question is if that damage is gonna be too big to actually keep himself on track, because he could easily go into the pits, go soft, you know, and try to catch the other guys. But let's see what he does. He stays out and Cameron goes in, so everyone...
Oh no, Nino just got a 5-second speed in.
Yeah, unfortunate for him. Yeah, everyone really like not getting the braking pedal on time, you know, going into the pits. Matthew getting that 5-second time penalty, and now Nino doing the same thing. So let's see. Now all this train of cars getting, well, actually the Mercedes and the Ferrari behind Kevin, who haven't been able to overtake, and thanks to that train. Oh yo Brandon banging wheels there and sending the car down the inside, but let's see what he does, as Kevin Harrison trying to look around the outside. Yes, you said it, but Kevin on mediums, that's not gonna work, is it? As Lickle now sends it down the inside, and Kevin Harrison losing position after position, not being able to defend. But look at that, the Ferrari going sideways, but still being able to stick the car And that's him going up, and now there's the when he goes into the grass, so that's 2 positions lost, but not that much time as it could have been. And it's now the AlphaTauri who's gonna be looking forward, making a move on the Racing Point. Actually, I would say both of them, the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari. Let's see, looking really tasty. Kevin Harrison trying to defend, but oh my god, he's really struggling on those mediums. It seems like, yeah, both of them make the move, and now Kevin down to P7, and it's gonna be Edward, the next one, to try and make the move on the Racing Point.
Yeah, that is a shame, and everyone's now going to go for the fast lap as well. Current fast lap is an 8.6, and the closest person to that time is actually in 3rd place, and 8.8 is Fleddy on the medium time. So it's going to be interesting who gets the fast lap.
And look at that, Fleddy was 5 seconds at one point behind Luis, and he's now 2.9, so that front wing damage really making struggles, you know. So we'll have... I actually feel bad for Luis because he had the win there and he bottled. He probably was frustrated, you know, not being able to make the move on the Renault as fast as he expected, but he rushed it. And meanwhile, the Racing Point and the Ferrari side by side, actually Kevin holding on. So this is going to be a drag race until the first corner, as Kevin Harrison has the DRS, but will Lickle send it though. Racing Point looking quite solid. Lickle trying to go for the traction, but not being able though. Right now he will have DRS, maybe not the ERS, but he's gonna make it down the inside. Oh, Kevin Harrison closing way too much, but will Kevin try and hold it around the outside? I don't know. Yeah, Edward brakes really late, but hold on because he locked up a little bit good. Maybe Kevin Harrison find a way to make his way back to P7th. No, I think that's over.
Yeah, it's definitely over that. If you wanted to have a good chance, you needed to put his nose in the inside, because, you know, on that corner, going on the outside trying to make a move like that doesn't work.
So, 12 laps remaining. Fleddy is really slowly catching on Luis, as Luis has lost another second to Matthew. So Matthew basically securing this win. And let's see, because Alfie, Brandon and Nino are actually catch. Oh wait, hold on, Nino. Wait, what's happening?
Oh god, he's diving it. The Italian's on a charge.
And
what is he playing at? Brand yet again, not giving people space, being a dirty driver. Man, love it. Get off. Right. Nino is clearly onside.
As a legend used to say, all the time you need to leave a space. He didn't. So Nino will be furious. I mean,
did he get a penalty with that as well?
I don't think he did.
Well, look.
No, he already had a 3-second penalty, and he had the 5 from exceeding the pit lane speed limit, so he didn't. Maybe a warning, but not a
No, I didn't get a warning.
So let's see, because right now Brandon lost the... I mean, to be honest, Alfie's pace in the race, it's insane. Every time, you know, he starts from the back, he's able to recover. He did it on France. He really deployed a masterpiece of a drive, and he's now on P4. He could actually catch his teammate. I wouldn't be surprised if he did, as there's 10 laps remaining and the gap is 7 seconds. And Fleddy also catching on Luis, so we could have an interesting ending to this race. However, Alfie has a 3-second time penalty, so that will be crucial.
Oh yeah, that as well. And you know, he is gaining on Fleddy 6.8 seconds. Fleddy's still getting on Lewis now, 2.2. And well, what we said earlier about possible rain, that's gone out the window now because it's starting to bright up. So I don't know. Right now then, Nino doing the 2-stop may not have been the best choice, to be honest. I think staying out would have been better.
Well, I don't know what his pace would have been like. Staying out at the moment, he's sitting P6 despite the penalties. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it was a difficult call, because I don't know if Nino saw himself with enough pace to follow Luis Curtis, you know. But anyways, the Ferrari looking tasty on the Mercedes driver. Let's see, will it work this time? He's going around the outside. They're side by side now. The Ferrari lifting off. Well, actually coasting, I would say. That's the key word. And letting the car ride itself. As now Brandon trying to get that position back, and they're still alongside as Brandon has the inside, but will Nino try and hold it around the outside? Oh, he's pushed off wide, and they're still fighting. Who will be ahead? I don't know. Oh my god, I mean, this too. I mean, I don't know what is going on in the party, but I'm pretty sure Nino is not happy as he now makes his way down the inside. That was actually a pretty decent move, but it's not over as Brandon once again sending it down the inside. But Nino had the best run though through that corner, but the Merc doesn't give up and he's still 1/10 behind. So if he gets a really good exit here, he could be making the move again. And meanwhile Edward, as Jared left the session.
Yeah, I don't know why it's just kicked me out.
Do you need an invite?
Should be going to give me a sec.
Well, as my co-com tried to join back, Nino getting overtaken again by Brandon Glover, so we'll have a second part to this fight. Well, a third part indeed. And it's now his teammate who is trying to make the overtake work, but not close enough. So I mean, we have interesting things to cover in this race. Right now, the fight for fifth, it's looking quite interesting. And meanwhile, ahead we have Fletty already 1.2 behind Luis Curtis, and it's Alfie who is slowly catching, but due to the 3-second time penalty he carries, I don't think he's gonna be able to finish on the podium. However, Nino and Bran and Nino, who will be ahead. Nino, after those two incidents with Bran, is now looking to finally make the overtake work, but he doesn't have enough ERS though. I would try to save if I was him, as Bran just has a little bit more. But Nino still quite close, as my boys is struggling to keep up with this action. No, not close enough. I think he's gonna reduce the gap massively, but he's not gonna be able to pull out a move. Let's see if he saves ERS though for the next DRS zone.
Well, maybe Nino's actually probably sandbagging a little bit because he might actually feel with the incident earlier between him and Bran was out of order. We know Nino's got penalties, so Bran can probably argue saying, "Oh, why is he fighting?" But you know, we've seen Bran do it before where he's had a massive drive-through penalty and took somebody out. So yeah, to be honest, with going back to the incident, Bran was completely at fault. Maybe Nino is thinking, well, he's possibly going to get a penalty for this. Should I really fight it? I've got a big penalty. I might help Edward out behind, who is my teammate, who hasn't actually got penalties. So it could be interesting between these two. There's one lap 30 out 36. Anything can happen.
Yeah, lap 30 and Fletty already in DRS range, pretty close to Luis Curtis, but probably we won't see a move in the final
Nino.
laps until Nino
outside
going around the outside. Yeah.
Then to the inside,
Oof.
and easy move. Oh, Bran cracks under the pressure.
But hold on, because I think Bran will have DRS, and I think it's going to be Bran who's going to make the move work again. Round the outside he goes. Nino will try to have the inside, but hold on, because Nino tried to... Oh my god, most of these moves end in tears, but they were able to hold on, and both of them still on track. So GG to them, to be honest. And they're still fighting. Bran probably asking, as you said, why is this guy fighting? You know, he has 8 seconds of pain. But hey, thanks Nino for making this race interesting. Without this battle, we would be bored. So quite happy he's challenging the Mercedes driver. However, I don't know how many rounds we have had in this fight. I would say this is like 7th round between these two. Nino again looking quite fast, lacking ERS. I mean, if I was legal, I would save ERS to maybe look on a move on the final laps. And now Nino again trying to make it work around the outside, but there's no room for him. Trying to go for the traction. Let's see how he does it, as Bran will now try to defend, but with low ERS. well, basically no ERS. It's gonna be difficult as he tries to send it down the inside. They're still side by side. They do not make contact. Oh, they do, and Nino is pushed off, but he's still there, and he manages to keep himself ahead of his teammate. So, oh my god, I mean, I've never commentated on a fight that has been that long.
No, neither have I, but, you know, as we've said, Nino is going to be absolutely frustrated with Bran. He's probably going to be calling him all names under the sun. And, to be honest, I'd be in the same situation as him. Bran, not driving that cleanly. It's not like him. He's very good at defending, but today, I don't know what's brought up to him, but we're going to go on board with Fleddy as well. We have to keep an eye on Fleddy as well, yeah? He's not that far for this now, 5/10.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on him. I mean, I'm keeping an eye on the timings, but this fight is just that juicy, you know, that we cannot miss any action. As we can see now, Lico making the overtake on his teammate, and I think it was a great by both ends to Nino let Edward by. So it's now Lico who's gonna try and overtake the Mercedes driver. I think Lico, it's a little bit faster than Nino, so let's see how he does it. He has 4 laps ahead to do it, so it's gonna be interesting. And meanwhile ahead, Fleddy quite close to Luis Corti, so we are now on board with this fight, but we'll keep an eye behind as well. And wow, I mean, we needed a break, so
Yeah.
we are back. The AlphaTauri now will try to make a move on Luis. He's quite close, and I have to say that actually the Alfa Romeo has saved more ERS, which has been quite intelligent from Luis Cortis. So let's see how this ends, but at the moment no overtaking. Meanwhile behind, Lico getting closer and closer to Bran. I think he could pull out the move. No, he's not close enough on this straight, but will he do it on the second straight? However, he has a really decent exit. He has the ERS compared to the Mercedes driver, so let's see how he does. I don't think he's gonna use ERS. I think he's just gonna save, stay behind, and yeah, and try to gain as much ERS as possible, and maybe on the final lap send it down the inside. So we have 2 battles going on at the moment. Lee Cully catching Sondre, so maybe we'll have an interesting fight for 10th as Rocco losing. Yeah, I mean, my brain is already giving up. But yeah, Rocco looking close to Lee Kelly, probably waiting on Lee Kelly to catch the Renault. But I don't think if they're gonna be able to do it. However, we're going back to the 3rd place. Wait, no, Fleddy I don't think is close enough. Or maybe yes.
No, he gained plenty of time there. He didn't actually just stay back. But Lewis, as you said, has got plenty of ERS to defend. So I think he's just going to buy his time, get a bit more closer. He's now got to watch out from Alfie. Alfie's 1.4 behind. Remember, he has a penalty. But Fleddy is looking for it. He's letting him know that he's there in the mirrors. So Lewis, you better watch out. Your position is on the square. And look at Matthew. 15 seconds in the lead. Rigged.
And I have to say, Lico driving quite smart, you know. Look at the ERS, he's saving quite a lot compared to Brandon. And that's gonna be important at the end of the race. That's gonna be crucial, you know, to see who makes the move on who. So Lico, I have to say, he has driven quite smartly, waiting for his opportunity to come. And look at that, 18 laps in those tires, and he's able to set the fastest lap. Where did he come from? I mean, from what planet is he? Because it's impossible he's from the Earth. As we can see, Fleddy tried to look to make the move around the outside, but not close enough though. And meanwhile behind yet, trying to catch up on both battles. As he makes it round the outside though, Brand trying to hold on. I think Lico will, no, actually it's Brand the one who will have DRS. Let's see if he's able to make it back, and Nino will look definitely quite tasty on it as he will be looking down the inside. But let's see Lico he holds on, they're still side by side, and Nino grabbing the popcorns, you know, and saying, oh my god, what a fight I'm watching now. And it's now the Merc who is ahead, and Alfie, wait, Fleddy and
I don't know what's just happened. We missed that. Where did Alfie come from? We're not reading this wrong, are we? It was the FOM got the.
The only thing I can use like to explain this is that actually Luis and Fletty made contact. But yeah, we are on to the final lap as Matthew is ahead by 17 seconds. Alfie might have a chance to pull a gap to Luis if Fletty tries to fight. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, let's see. It's gonna be side by side. No, there's still one lap, Jared. We're still on the final lap.
I thought it was the last lap.
Yeah, because Matthew crossed it. So they're still there. They're still there. And let's see what Fletty does, because Fletty could make the move on Luis. And now Nino's gonna look round the outside and say, oh, you can see this coming.
That is just, I'm sorry, I know that's all so unprofessional, but the way he just tapped him by mistake, and Brian is out of that race. Now that is karma from turn 1.
There's gonna be more than words after this race. I mean, what just happened here is disgraceful. I mean, I don't know what really happened. I think moved and Brandon moved as well. Yeah, we missed Matthew crossing the finish line, but who cares? Matthew, retire. I mean, you have already won several championships. No need to win more. Just let someone else take your
Alfie second,
your legacy.
Second,
yeah.
Third then.
So no surprise here, and Edward will finish 5th. Cameron Young on 6th. Yeah, in the end, I mean, and in the end, we were talking about Rocco, Lee Kelly, and Sondre.
Oh no, Sondre, look at him. Is he gonna get them all like he is?
No, but the penalties. But the penalties, yeah. But the thing is, we were talking about Rocco, Lee Kelly, and Sondre fighting, for that last position of points. But because of the incident between Nino and Brandon, well, they all have points. So happy ending. And I have to say, look at that gap. Lee Kelly, 2/10 ahead of Kevin. Rocco 34,000 behind Kevin, and then we have Sondre also quite close. So, and driver of the day Alfie, and I have to say I completely agree. I fully agree with this election by Codemasters. So, Matthew on top of the podium. If you can invite the drivers to do the interviews, that would be.
So I invite 2nd and 3rd then, right? It's Lewis and Fletty.
Yeah, and Matthew.
Now, unfortunately, he's not on the friends list anymore.
So, Matthew Older finishes once again for 7th time in the season in the first spot. Really good race by the Alfa Romeo driver. In 2nd place, his teammate Luis Curtis. After that front wing damage, he was able to hold on and keep 2nd place. In 3rd place, just behind the Alfa Romeo, Fletty. Which struggled at the end. I don't know what happened between both of them, but Alfie, who finished in 4th, almost took advantage of the situation. Edward in 5th after quite an intelligent race, and despite making that mistake, which cost him a couple of positions, he was able to gain back his confidence and finish in 5th. Cameron in 6th after that contact between Brandon and Nino. Lee Kelly in 7th. His fellow man Kevin Harrison in 8th, Rocco Walsh in 9th, and Sondre getting a point despite the penalties in 10th. Outside the top 10, Nino, who was able to finish his race despite the contact made with Brandon Glover, who, well, it counted as he finished the race, but it was a DNF by Brandon Glover, and Brandon Villegas DNF'd as he crashed in lap 2, I believe. So we have people joining the party. We are waiting to see if Matthew joins, so we should be starting the interviews shortly. But just before starting the interviews, Jared, what was your highlight of the race?
Nino and Bran, especially last lap. Best moment ever. Nino did the best job I've seen him do. But all jokes aside, it was a very good fight between Edward and Bran and Nino. So, yeah, I think that's going to be my highlight, and it was a good race.
Yeah, definitely. I have to agree, and we finally have everyone in. So, I like to start with the third, with the driver who finished in third. So we're gonna start with Fleddy, and I will start with Fleddy if you want. Then you can take Luis, and I'll end up interviewing Matthew. But you can ask any questions if you have so. So yeah, Fleddy, hello.
Yes, hello.
Do you have your mic on share?
I do, yes.
Okay, then we are starting with the interview. First of all, congratulations on that P3. I have to say it was quite a tactical race. I mean, from you because you were away from trouble, like you didn't have that much action during the whole race. But in the end, you had that fight with Reese. Could you take us through your race and how did it feel?
Yeah, of course, quali was pretty good for my standards, to be honest. And I lost the DRS to Lewis in the first instant. That's why I lost the DRS, which was pretty annoying. So then I lost like, what was it, 4 seconds or something. And yeah, then it was just trying to catch back up to Lewis. And I did, and I lost it on the curb. And I saw he did have damage, so I let him pass. So he could get still P2.
Yeah.
So I felt like a dickhead at the moment.
And what happened with how did your teammate was able to overtake you both? Was there contact between you and Luis, as you said?
There was contact, yes. I tried to move around the outside in turn 3, I think, or 4. And I lost the car on the curb and hit Lewis.
So you accept part of the blame in the incident? Do you think it was your fault?
It was my fault, yeah. Well, I lost the car, so.
I mean, at least you admit it, you know, that there are a lot of drivers who are close-minded, and in the heat of the moment, they refuse to accept any blame on the incident. But to be honest, I appreciate the honesty. I mean, that you were honest. And what do you feel like going to next round? Which, if I'm not wrong, I think it should be Canada. No, is it Canada?
It is Canada, I think. Yeah.
So how does it feel? I mean, I'm pretty sure they have it on PSEL. So if you're in PSEL, you might be able to practice a little bit, or is it just or you are not in PSEL and you will have to practice? How does it feel?
I am not in PSGL, okay. So I will practice on my own for this race. And I see that I can still get P4, I understand, maybe even P3, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to practice for the end of the season and try to get P3.
Hopefully you'll be able to get P3. Yara, do you have any question for Fleddy?
Not really, to be honest. Just great race, and it's good from an F2 driver's point of view to come to F1 and get a podium. It's it's good to see that some drivers from the low T can do it, and you've proven it again. And just got to say congratulations on the result you got.
Yes, thank you.
So you can take Luis if you want, Jared.
Oh, my pleasure. Well then, crash happy Lewis Curtis, as I usually would call you with France. But today it was a good race for you. At one point you were fighting with Matthew, and it was very close at one point, and then you lost a lot of time with the pit stop. How do you think your race went from your point of view?
Well, started off quite well. Kept with the DRS mainly because of the VSC with Matthew, and then just sat behind him for a while. He started pulling away, so I just dropped 1 to 2 seconds behind. Pit stop was decent for Matthew's speed. Had a slight hope for a win, but I kind of got damaged hitting Cameron when I was trying to overtake him. So I was running around like last 20 laps with a yellow wing. Got nearer to the end battling with Fleddy and Alfie, and then as he said, he's lost the car. Gave me a bit more damage, but I was manageable to keep my second place.
Oh yeah, especially you were actually a bit under threat from Fleddy with that position. Were you actually worried that he actually was going to get it in the end, or were you sure enough that you could hold that position even with that bit of damage?
Well, I saved up my ERS flag until he got up. I was expecting him to like overtake me so I could just sit behind him in DRS so Alfie didn't catch. But he didn't seem to want to overtake me until like for the last 2 laps. And by that point I thought I've got enough ERS that I'll try and defend it. And just went with it from there.
Okay then, well, I haven't really got any other questions to ask except the final question, which is Canada for next round. How do you feel there, since you know the Drivers' Championship is over as well with you and Matthew going to fight for it? But what do you feel you're going to go there? Do you think you could get a win? Do you think Matthew's going to be nice enough to let you fight for a win, or is he going to be a mean SOB and not let that happen?
Well, Matthew would never let me win because to him I am a boss or an Albon. So Canada's probably my strongest track on the game, so I'll probably give him a closer battle if I don't bin it at any of the balls that are very close to the track.
Okay then, well, congratulations on your result. And Paco, do you have a question for Lewis before you move on to Matthew?
Not really. I mean, you've really asked all the questions. I just want to, well, I would say congratulate, but he really bottled, so yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So yeah, moving, I mean, now honestly, congratulations on your P2 despite that bottle with the front wing damage, and good luck on Canada. So we're moving on to Matthew. Matthew, please, just retire. I mean, it's boring, you know. Every time that I commentate, well, and in every race, you just win. And something that they forgot to mention when doing the standings is that you already won the championship. So first of all, how does it feel?
It feels very nice. It was just the fifth one, I think.
I've lost the count.
I'm just probably going to try and go for as many as possible until I leave the league, obviously. But yeah, it feels nice to get the 5th one.
What was your mentality when approaching this race? Because you struggled to get pole. I mean, you had some mistakes and you got the good lap in the end. But it seemed like Luis could have had a good race against you. What was your mentality approaching this race?
It's just the same as every other race, really, just go for the win. I mean, in quali I had to spin. Yeah, that was the only time I've ever spun, and particularly on that corner as well. I didn't really expect it, and then I almost did the same thing the lap after. So yeah, it did seem like I was struggling, but I knew there was a lot of pace in the lap that I had. I only had like a 6.3 going into the last run, so I knew there was a lot of pace. So I didn't really want to push in that corner as when I got up to it, and I didn't. And yeah, I managed to gain a lot of time through not pushing, not making the mistakes that I did on the previous runs, and I got them flat.
And how did that 5-second time penalty affect you? I mean, did you think, oh, well, I was about to say, I was about to swear, but we are on stream, so when you got that 5-second time penalty, did you feel like your race was over, that Luis was going to win it, or were you calm and pretty confident on creating a gap to Luis?
Well, I knew that the main way that I'd be able to create a gap, obviously, I didn't consider that Lewis might get damaged, but I thought the best way to create a gap was just to pass these people who are on the mediums as fast as possible, because I know Lewis isn't like amazing at overtaking, and I mean, he hit Cameron, so yeah. But when he got the wing damage, I knew I would have to just take it easy. But I did want the fastest lap, and I did have a warning to spare, so I knew I wouldn't get a penalty if I did do one push lap. So I did do one push lap at the end, like lap 30 something, 32 I think, when I got a faster lap for the first time this season. Yeah, the race. Yeah, I didn't think too much of the 5-second really.
Unfortunately, I mean, you wanna get. Nah, just kidding. But with the constructors title and the drivers driver championship tied up, wrapped up, sorry, already, what's gonna be the mentality for the next races? I mean, are you gonna make it fun, you know, starting from last and maybe, you know, making it exciting for the commentators and for the viewers, or are you gonna just race like always?
I mean, Canada next, I'm gonna do that. There's no point starting outside the top 10 there, really. Not, or just starting back in general. That track is, yeah, it's just not a track that you want to do that, and
Come on.
might be fun for the commentators, but
Yes.
it's not like I'm going to enjoy it too much. Canada, I just hate driving the track in general, so might as well get out of the way. Not have any problems with it. Maybe though, I might do something like that at Bahrain, maybe Italy as well.
Well then, that's all my questions, and since Jared is not here anymore, probably he lagged out or he had to go, that's the interview over. So just congratulations on that win, and also congratulations on the constructors, and as well on the driver championship. So yeah, we're gonna finish this live stream. It has been a pleasure to commentate on this race, which, to be honest, I think it has been quite exciting despite the turnout. I think there were good fights in big part thanks to Brandon, Nino, Edward and Alfie, and to that contact in the end in the final lap. But this has been all for today. We will be back next week with F1. However, if tomorrow we have F2 and F3 with the championship still to be decided. So tune in at 4:30 UK time to see the action. And on Wednesday we will be back with FP as well, which the standings are as well quite interesting with Matthew leading, if I'm not mistaken. So this has been everything for today. It has been Paco Suarez, and alongside me Jared Fosbury, although he's not here right now. See you everyone, and have a good week. Bye bye.